and apologize for the delay this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We're so happy to be here with you inside of these Cafe Kubal studios. Cafe Kubal on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, New York. Fill your cup up right today with some Cafe Kubal in any of those Syracuse locations. You can also go to 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, and to the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road at Sweetheart Corners, and join in the fun there and make sure that you fill your cup up right, like I said, with some amazing, amazing Cafe Kubal. So we appreciate you. We thank you for all that you do locally to connect with our community and support our local community. Here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, you're watching and listening with us on so many different outlets. We're on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as facebook.com/livenowdt, and we're now featured on Podbean Live on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. So however you're connected with the show, we appreciate you so very much for joining us and hanging out with us where sports meets life every Monday through Friday for your morning pleasure. So a lot of great stuff coming up for you today, and I am so excited to be able to bring you this show on Fridays. I can't believe it's Friday already, but on Fridays we bring you our three signature segments to start off the show. Every single Friday there's a trio of segments. The Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Carvel DeWitt on 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York, followed by Lead, Learn, Evolve, Adlib, and Deliver, proudly brought to you by the fantastic people at Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. And then the Top Dog of the Week coming to you from Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. So a lot of great stuff coming up here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Excited to announce the Top Dog of the Week. And then we'll round out the show with an all-new Bobcat Buzz featuring Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse men's basketball head coach Clay Gagen-Sherman following a historic season, his first season as the head coach. A lot of great history coming up in this first season. So a lot of fun to be had. Very much looking forward to it. And I always love having Clay on the show, and always love being the exclusive partner of Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse to be able to bring you all these great stories like the ones that we have with Clay Gagen-Sherman. So a lot of great stuff coming up here today. We appreciate you being here, hanging out with us on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So however you're tuning into the show, thank you so much for being a part of the show, as we are going to jump right into inside of ModPawsPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', the Annoying Moment of the Week. And of course you see that NCAA logo, because throughout the show we'll be talking NCAA tournament, as we just went through the first day of the round of 64, aka my favorite part of the tournament, where you get basketball all day long. So loving this stuff. A lot of great stuff coming up. Very excited to talk with you about it. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by the fantastic people at Carvel DeWitt.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you... Is that for real? Are you kidding me? The Annoying Moment of the Week. I'm really honest. I don't know how to respond to this. Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like. You have to be that crazy. I guess so.
The Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by the fantastic people at Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. Well, this Annoying Moment of the Week, folks, it has to do with the NCAA tournament. And the NCAA tournament, it's such a year. I mean, it's such a... Okay. I love the NCAA tournament, and I love everything about it. And there's so many good things that come from it, right? But there's this other thing that is going on behind the scenes with the NCAA, and I'm really, really annoyed. Now, when you transition from Division II to Division I, there's this rule for schools transitioning that they have to go into this purgatory, essentially, which to me is absolute insanity. You have to be in this purgatory. That's my annoying moment of the week. That this thing that you have to sit in, if you are a school moving from Division II to Division I, you get punished by making that move. Now, mind you, folks, because I know the background of this with Lemoyne looking into the decision, it costs a lot of money to move. So there's a lot of things on you. There's things you have to do. There's criteria you have to meet. So you meet all this criteria. You do everything you're supposed to do. You raise the money you have to raise, and then you still get punished. This is where I have a huge problem with what's going on here. I don't understand why this has to happen, and I don't like it. And Merrimack deserves better because they're on the wrong side of this time around. And that being the annoying moment of the week, the fact that they were the number one team in the NEC. Number one, not 2, not 3, not 5. They won the regular season in the NEC. After winning the regular season in the NEC, they went to the NEC tournament, won the NEC tournament, and guess what? They got to go nowhere. They got to do nothing. They got essentially absolutely nothing for everything that they worked for and everything that they did and everything that had advanced them forward. All of their hard work, at the end of it all, they got nothing for it. And it was absolutely ridiculous. And it's because of a stupid rule. It's not because of anything they've done. It's because of an idiotic rule that makes no sense, that is absolutely ridiculous, that the NCAA put in place. Now, mind you, we have the transfer portal now. And with the transfer portal, you can transfer anywhere you want to go, and you can play immediately in that one-time allowance of the transfer, right? So that one-time allowance, you can leave. You can go to, let's pick a random school. You can go to Wyoming and then say, all right, you know what? I want to go from Wyoming to Kentucky, and you can do that. You can go from Wyoming.
Pick a random school. You can go to Wyoming.
Go from Wyoming to Kentucky right now. Go from Wyoming to Kentucky, first-time transfer. You don't have to sit out. You don't have to do anything. You go right over to Kentucky. You have yourselves a fantastic day, folks. Okay? That's what you could do now. So why a school can't do this is beyond me, because now you're punishing this school because it moved from Division II to Division I. And now that we have this transfer portal, I think the school should get the same thing. Hey, you're a one-time transfer from D2 to D1. Come on in, play your sport. Let's play your sports. Let's do this thing. I mean, we look at it right now. Now, Merrimack College, they got to win over Fairleigh Dickinson, won the NEC championship game in their tournament. Now, 18 and 16, they got their first ever conference tournament victory there. It's the first time they've ever won the NEC. And yet they can't go anywhere because of this rule. Now, Merrimack is in its 4th year of Division I basketball, so they're ineligible for the NCAA tournament and the NIT due to rules governing transitioning teams. Merrimack becomes eligible next season. So that's where we are in this thing here, and they can't go anywhere. So here's the thing that I don't like is they say, okay, Dan, well, it's the rule, it's in place. Some people say, rules are rules, okay? And my challenge back to them is, okay, some rules aren't good rules. Some rules don't make any sense. So you're putting all this money forward to move to Division I. And like I said, I know it costs because I've, obviously been working with Lemoyne on the conversation of do they stay D2 or do they go D1. So I know it costs money, right? I know it costs money. I know your facilities have to be in place. You have to have, the right number of coaches. There's a lot of things that you have to do. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of time. And it's a lot on the school to make this transition. If a school is going to go through all of this stuff, it's not like the school goes, okay, for the first 4 years, we're not going to spend any money on our sports because we're not going anywhere. No, they got to put everything forward. They have to be ready. They have to make a case. They have to be accepted by a conference. Then they move. And once all of this happens, they have to sit and wait. And a lot of people didn't know that, but they know now because Merrimack won the tournament. Now, Bellarmine, who is also a team transitioning, who's coming from Louisville, Kentucky, they won the A-Sun last season, the A-Sun Conference Tournament, and they missed it because of the same rule. Now, They're not going to the NCAA tournament because of all this. Now, what I don't get is when you take part in the conference tournament, and John Rothstein said this. He said, I quote, "Dear NCAA, please never again allow a team in transition to play in a postseason tournament if it's ineligible for the NCAA tournament. Sincerely, America. P.S. Congrats to Merrimack, NEC champs, but FDU goes to the NCAA tournament. Anarchy? No, just insanity." End quote. And I mean, that's that. And the thing is, it has nothing to do. I mean, this has nothing to do with Fairleigh Dickinson, who won their game in their playing game, and very proud of them and very happy for them. You know, Iona head coach Rick Pitino, he said this. He said, quote, "Once a team is permitted to play Division I basketball, they should be automatically eligible for the tournament. NCAA, let's remember it's about the student athletes." Because, yeah, you have to think about this too. 4 years. 4 years. Now, this rule is not known to a lot of people. I didn't know this rule before it comes out and it starts affecting people, right? I'm going to sit here and openly tell you, I didn't know it was 4 years. So I thought it was 2. I know that in Division III, when Marywood left the conference they were in and they started a new conference because the conference had never existed before, they and all the members that started that new conference had to wait 2 years of postseason ineligibility. And that was 2 years. But 4 years is excessive. 4 years is ridiculous. 4 years, think about it. So if I'm a student athlete and 4 years ago I came to Merrimack and I'm a senior this year, I've been sent the middle finger for 4 years by the NCAA. And I'm not going to go to the tournament because of a rule that is ridiculous here. Now, Merrimack head coach Joe Gallo said this, quote, "We went into the season knowing we can't go to the NCAA tournament. We've never been a program that complained about that. We know what we signed up for. So that's what it is. Everyone has always asked, how do you keep these guys motivated? They just motivate themselves. It's always been about who do we play next?" End quote. So, positive. Awesome. They started the season 2-12 and then found their way to flip this thing around and have a winning record. And, it's really tough. And it's unfortunate. Now, they could potentially play in the CBI if they wanted to, potentially March 18th to the 22nd. And that would probably put more eyes on the CBI than anything else, because there's the NCAA tournament, and then there's the NIT, and then there's the CBI. And I say levels because, if you don't make the NCAA tournament, then you try to make the NIT, and then teams below that, record-wise and, committee respect-wise, I guess, around the country. If they can't make the first two, then you go to the CBI. So that's where we're at. But it's my annoying moment of the week because it's unfair. Now, granted, I appreciate what the coach said. I appreciate the positivity. I appreciate the fact that they're like, hey, we're just going to look at who do we play next? Where do we go next? We can't control this stuff. And I get that. And I appreciate that. And again, I respect it. I'm speaking from my place to say it's not fair. It's not fair to the kids now. And because anybody can say, well, that's what they signed up for. They signed up knowing they're not going to play in the tournament, Dan. They signed up understanding they're not going to be in the tournament, Dan. So how can you say anything about them, Dan? They're not going to be in the tournament, Dan. And it's like, okay, well, they're not going to be in the tournament. That doesn't, you know what I mean? But it's like, if I'm a kid and I want to go to Merrimack, right? Or what if I'm a kid that wants to go to Merrimack and I don't go to Merrimack because they can't play in the tournament? What about that? What about that? What about those student athletes who said, I don't want to go, not just for basketball, but for anything. I'm not going to go because I can't compete in the postseason. So maybe they lost student athletes. Maybe they lost students. Maybe they lost money. Maybe they lost coaches. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not just the fact that they don't get to play in the tournament. The ripple effect of this can be a very difficult thing. And that's what I really, above all things here, I don't appreciate the fact that they were in this type of situation because of some stupid rule that's absolutely ridiculous. If you're going to go compete D1, then you're going to go compete D1. They're playing Division I. They're in a Division I conference. They have a Division I schedule, playing Division I teams, and yet they can't compete in Division I tournaments. That doesn't make any sense. It's wrong. It's ridiculous. I don't know why this rule was in place. Okay. I mean, maybe it's like, hey, that maybe the teams are going to stink, so the NCAA decided, hey, we're going to protect them. But Stonehill just joined this conference. So that means Stonehill, who, mind you, finished third in the conference this year. So they finished third in their first season in the NEC, coming from D2 to D1. Another NE10 team like Merrimack, who comes from the same conference as Lemoyne, going to Division One and going to the NEC. So here's another team in Stonehill, and Stonehill this year, in their first year in the NEC, first season competing in the NEC, they were third overall in the entire conference for the NEC. They were the 3 seed in the NEC tournament, but they can't go anywhere and they can't do anything. And 3 years from now, they'll be released from their purgatory. So, you know what I mean? It's like we're seeing Merrimack go through it. Bellarmine, we're seeing them go through it, and now we're going to see Stonehill go through it. So it's not even like the NEC conference. It's not even like the NEC is not going to see this again. They're going to continue to see it with Stonehill. So it's not fair. It's super unfortunate. It's ridiculous. It's my annoying moment of the week because, yeah, you play the games that are in front of you. I get that. I understand that. But it's not fair to the kids. You know, it's not fair to the kids. And if I came into Merrimack 4 seasons ago and this is my senior year, I'm not allowed, I wasn't allowed to play in the postseason at all. And to be the regular season champions of the NEC and to be the tournament champions of the NEC and to play that game and to shake hands after the game, get handed the trophy, and know that the team that you just beat is going to the NCAA tournament. And if you're Fairleigh Dickinson, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like you lost the game, but you get to go to the tournament. So that almost feels like a participation trophy because it is a participation trophy. You're the team that participated in the championship against the team who can't participate in the NCAA tournament. So your participation trophy allows you an advancement to the NCAA tournament. It's like, hey, whatever team plays Merrimack is the team that's going to get to go to the NCAA tournament. That's not fair. It's like whoever makes it to the championship game and wins or loses to Merrimack is going to the tournament. It's not fair. It's not right. It's ridiculous. So Merrimack, I understand. Your student athletes fight. I appreciate that. Your coaches fight. I appreciate that. You play the games ahead of you. I appreciate that. But I think it's wrong. I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair to Bellarmine. I think it's unfair to Stonehill and anybody else who makes that transition. Because like I said, in this conversation with Lemoyne over almost a year of looking at staying D2 or going D1, there's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of people involved. There's a lot of things with facilities and different things you have to do and money you have to raise and all of that. And so to go through all of the background adversity to go to D1 and then to be punished. So you're in the conference, you help out the conference, you join the conference, and you're punished within the conference and you're punished nationally. It's not okay. And what are they paying the penalty for? It's almost like they're paying the death penalty for crimes that they didn't commit. You know, that's where my frustration comes in. What did these schools do? You know what I mean? You're in purgatory based on a rule that doesn't make sense. And I said, I mean, maybe, and okay, there's some background stuff where I'm sure they could say, well, we do it because of this or we do it because of that. But I look at it and I say, okay, in this background rule, or in the background of this rule, is it to protect teams saying, hey, we're going to give you 4 years to get ready, 4 years to recruit, 4 years to build up your program because you're probably going to come into this conference and lose right away? But Merrimack didn't do that. And Stonehill's not doing that. You know what I mean? So, and Bellarmine didn't do that. So, you know, I think that ultimately this rule is not working and these teams are competing. And with these teams competing the way that they've been competing, you're punishing them and it's not fair. And yeah, it just, it frustrates me and it's upsetting. And Bellarmine deserves better, and so does Stonehill, and so does Merrimack, and anybody else that decides to make the move. So And now we know, right? I didn't know the rule until the rule came up and did this. And that's how some things happen. The NCAA, I was told a long time ago by a coach that I'm close with that NCAA book is thick and it only gets thicker. And there's things in there you don't even know what you're doing or not doing. You don't even know if you're breaking a rule. So, in this case, I think they need to relook at this, and maybe it was something that was put in place to say, hey, we don't want your teams to get embarrassed in the tournaments, so we're just going to do that. But you know what? Some teams come in and they're ready right away. In the case of Merrimack, in the case of, Bellarmine, and in the case of Stonehill, these are good teams. And shout out to the conferences that had the foresight to go and get them. And non-shout out to the NCAA, who isn't going to let them play in a tournament. And when they won the conference tournament, they should have relooked at this rule. But like I said, the transfer portal doesn't have any year in residency. So why should Merrimack have 4 years in residency before they could go anywhere? I don't agree with it. I don't like it. It's unfortunate. And it's no offense to Fairleigh Dickinson or anybody else that advances outside of the other team. But Bellarmine gets that trophy like, congratulations, you're going nowhere. Stonehill, third in the conference. What were they going to do? They weren't going anywhere. And now Merrimack, it's like, you're our regular season champion, you're our conference champion. And how do you explain that to kids? We were the regular season and conference tournament champion. Oh, so you made it to the NCAA tournament? No. And the thing is, what if they're not good for the next 25 years? What if the only time Merrimack was going to make the NCAA tournament was this season, and now they don't make it again until like 2030, 2037? You know what I mean? That's the thing that people don't think about. It's like when COVID happened, Dayton was not only a number 1 seed, they were the number 1 overall seed. Do you know if Dayton's ever been a number 1 seed before? And what if they're never a number 1 seed again? And they don't have Obi Toppin after that season. So it's those situations which are very unique. Now, granted, a pandemic is a lot different than a rule that you can change. But it's just my argument of, just because a team's good this year doesn't mean they're going to be good next year. And Merrimack, they could go through this 4-year hiatus and then go through a hiatus themselves of just not making it to the conference tournaments, or not making it to, NCAA opportunities, and when they can. So if they go these 4 years when they could have made it, they don't make it, and then they struggle after this, now they're in longer of a purgatory, which is totally unfair, because you never know what a team is going to be like season to season. You can think that you know and think that you have like an inkling on where you're going to be, but there's no surefire thing that this team is going to make it next year, or that Bellarmine's going to make it, or when Stonehill's out of purgatory, that they're going to be great right away. And so if you're great within this time period and you don't make it, we could be talking about a longer history of purgatory than the 4 years. The rule is wrong. It needs to change. Show me the parameters. Show me what's going on. Give me the literature. And let's let the teams that are the champions have what champions have, which is the opportunity. And stop. And I agree. Don't even let them play in the tournament if they're not going to go anywhere, because it's so underwhelming. And to the fans too, to know, okay, Merrimack beat my team and then this team and then this, and now they're playing in the championship game and it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? And if I'm Fairleigh Dickinson, I'm like, okay, no matter what happens, we're going. So it's just kind of ridiculous, and I'm not for participation trophies. So things need to be changed. It's unfair. I'm so happy that Merrimack can say the regular season and conference tournament champions in the NEC, but I don't believe it's fair that they didn't get to advance. It's my annoying moment of the week, and it's proudly brought to you by Carvel. 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. Head to Carvel today, and don't let the cold weather or any weather change fool you, because Carvel's famous and amazing flavors are the same every single day, open throughout the year in all of our seasons in Central New York. The longest standing Carvel franchise in America, 4322 East Genesee Street, Carvel DeWitt. We'll be back right after this with much more coming up, including Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver is up next, speaking on the topic Shoot Your Shot, which is perfect for NCAA tournament time. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Kampground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout central and upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. This is a special message from 317 at Montgomery restaurant owner Joel Carpenter. Open Tuesday through Saturday for your dining pleasure on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York.
We wanted to be a part of the resurgence of Syracuse. We saw a lot of money being put into bringing people back downtown and thought that, we'd like to be a part of that. I love putting together a good dish where people see it first, they fall in love with it, and then it tastes just as good as it looks. We want to provide the best food in Syracuse that we possibly can, and we want you to leave here talking to your family, your friends about what you had to eat first and foremost, but also our service, and to walk out feeling like you're part of our family. I work out in the front of the house a lot, and I love walking to every single table, asking them how everything is, and people looking at me and smiling and saying, this is the most amazing short rib I've ever had. This is the most amazing filet I've ever had. And Donna is great. Sarah's amazing. Thank you for coming over and talking to us. And then them just being truly happy for the experience that they've gotten.
317 at Montgomery Restaurant, part of the fabric of downtown Syracuse, located on 317 Montgomery Street in Syracuse, New York. Open Tuesday through Saturday for a unique and memorable dining experience. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, hanging out with you. where sports meets that thing called life, and appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's time for Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver inside of these Cafe Kubal studios and inside of Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com's What's Poppin'. Folks, you can watch March Madness however you'd like to. You can get into that NCAA tournament, but watching it without kettle corn and popcorn is nuts. What are you going to throw at the TV that you know is not going to break it? What are you going to throw up in the air when your team wins? That's some kettle corn and popcorn. By the way, it's so good that if you throw it up in the air, you're going to 5-second roll that thing when it comes from Ma and Pa's. Head to 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York today and get yourself some Ma and Pa's. 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. They are open for all you tournament watchers and movie watchers and Netflix bingers and everybody out there. So make sure you head over to Ma and Pa's, the perfect snack to be your buddy, whatever you're watching, whenever you're watching it. And if you get any one of their tins, any size of their tin, it's a half-price refills for the rest of your life. So make sure you get out there today. It's time to jump into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. Today's topic, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, take the shot. Now, perfect timing as we talk about the NCAA tournament. What do I mean about this? Take the shot. What does that mean to me? What it means to me is what I want you to do is shoot your shot. Take the opportunity when it presents itself. Because life is about those who take the opportunities and those who don't take the opportunities. We all ask for them, right? Most of us ask for them. Send me that woman that's going to change my life, right? We ask for those opportunities. Send me that guy that's going to sweep me off my feet. Send me that job that's going to be perfect for me. Send me kids. I want to have kids. Lord, let me have kids, right? But when that shot comes, do you take it, right? When you have that opportunity, do you take it? Do you take the opportunity to start a family? Do you take the opportunity to go after that job? When somebody comes up to you and says hi to you and serendipity is all around you, do you take the opportunity that presents itself? Do you take the shot? Because again, we all ask for the shot. We want the shot. We want to be the one that shoots that last shot, just like a lot of players on a team. Anybody can say in practice, Coach, I want to take the shot. I'm going to get the shot. I want the shot. Give me the shot. I can shoot the shot. I got this shot. I'm going to make the shot. But then when it comes down to it and the lights are on and the fans are around and people are cheering and people are booing and the clock is ticking down, will you shoot the shot? Or will you sit there and hold on to the ball in fear of what if I miss it? What if I don't make this? What if it doesn't work out? And so here we are today. And I'm asking you the question, are you willing to take the shot? If I needed you to take the shot, would you take the shot? If you were on my team and I handed you the ball, would you take the shot? Because we all talk about it, right? I'm a better broadcaster than they are. Oh, I'm a better singer than she is. Oh, I could be president way better than that guy or that girl. I got this. Right? A lot of people talk the talk, but do they walk the walk? And that is the question. Are you willing to walk the walk that you're talking about? Or not? Because at the end of the day, if you don't take those shots, you might not get that shot again. You might not get the opportunity again. So if you're going to talk about it, be about it, and take the shot, it's as simple as that. I'm not saying don't think about it, don't calculate your risks. I'm saying that a lot of us say the things that we want, right? We pray about them. We try to manifest them. We put the energy out there, right? I want to find that love of my life. I want to find that great career. I want to find that awesome house. I want to have a family. I want to. But when those opportunities come to you, do you take them, or do you sweat and sit there in a pool of your sweat inside of your sneakers and stand like you're in quicksand and do nothing? Or do you attack the day? I'm one of those people, don't talk about it, be about it. Andrea Smith and I, in Two Mics No Filter, we talk about it all the time. If you're going to talk about it, be about it, right? I don't want you to tell me how great you're going to be. Let's go out and be great together. Let's go do this. And that's reality. Is that you're either going to be about it or you're going to talk about being about it. So to me, I would love to see people actually be about it. Right? Go after the things you want. Fight for the things you want. Do the best you can with what's in front of you. Attack the day and give it all you got. Because without it, where are we going? Right? Without giving the best that we can possibly give, how are we ever going to hope to succeed? Without shooting the shot, how are we ever going to make it? Right? And people tell you all the time you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And people say it's cliche. And my response to when people say something's cliche, that usually typically means it's true. When someone goes, oh, Dan, that's so cliche. It's also true. It's also true. A lot of cliche statements are true statements that a lot of people maybe don't want to live with and don't want to believe. But they're true. So what I want you to do today is I want you to ask yourself, am I willing to go after it? Am I willing to try? Am I willing to give all I can, whatever the situation may be? Because if you're not willing to give, then you can't sit here and complain when it doesn't work out. I hear people all the time, oh, Dan, ooh, if you saw me, Dan, if you saw me out there on the court, Dan, I'm crazy, Dan. I'm out there with it, Dan. There's nothing like what I can do, Dan. But those people typically don't get out on the court and show you what they can do. They just tell you what they can do. And I don't want to hear what you can do. Outside of maybe meeting you and talking about it once, right? Because maybe you're applying for a job and you want to let me know. You want to let me know what you could do? That's fine. But after that, let's go do it. You have to take the shot. And I've realized in life that sometimes it's not even that, you get to a point where it's not even that you want to hear yes. It's that you just want an answer. Any answer. Right? So that you can shut the door if you need to shut the door, or leave it open if you need to leave it open. And I don't like maybes. Because to me, maybe is it's an elongated no. It's a long no. It's a no that takes forever to get to no, but it's a no, and it wastes your time. And I am not a fan of time wasters, and Andrea and I talked about that too. I don't like time wasters. And that's if you're wasting my time in romance, in friendship, in business, in anything. Do not waste my time. If you don't want to do business with me, don't waste my time. If you don't want to date me, don't waste my time. I'm not about that. So I've evolved into a person where it's not even that I'm at a point where it's like, it's got to be yes. It's tell me an answer so that I know the answer. Because if it's no, then I can shut the door and not think about it, right? you want to date somebody and you try to date them, right? And things never work out. The timing's never right. The timing finally can be right. I would be fine with a no, because then I have the no. Then I can move on. Then I can say, okay, yes, you want to date, let's give it a shot. Or no, you don't want to date, let's not give it a shot. But now I know that it's no, so I'm not going to call again in a year. I'm not going to try again. Okay, I've put myself out there. I've made myself vulnerable. But I'm going to take the shot. If I miss it, I took it. I prepared for that shot. I knew what I wanted to say about that shot. I was strong in the shot that you know what I mean? It's like I prepared for the shot. I knew how I wanted to shoot it. I was calm, cool, and collected. I said to myself, control your emotions, bend, eyes, elbows, follow through, right? Beef. That's what they taught us when we were playing basketball growing up as kids. Bend your knees, eyes on where you want the ball to go, elbows, bring those in, and follow through. And if the shot goes in, great. And if it doesn't go in, at least you took the shot. Because so many people say, I wanted to ask that person out. Well, did you? No, I was too scared. I was too scared in high school. I didn't do it. I didn't pursue it in college. Oh, well, your dream is to be what? Oh, well, I'd love to be a doctor. Oh, okay. Well, why didn't you? Well, I was too scared to take the test. I was too scared. Right? Oh, well, I would have been a great pilot. Well, why didn't you go to flight school? I was too scared. I was nervous. I was nervous that they were going to put me in the cockpit and ask me questions. I don't like being asked questions. Yeah, I meet people like that. People that are too scared to take action, and those people eventually lose. Because when you're too afraid to make a move, moves are made around you, and now that move's not there anymore. It's kind of like standing still on a chessboard. If you stand still on a chessboard, eventually the game is happening around you, and somebody checkmates and knocks you right off the board. So to me, I don't deal with businesses that say, hey, call me in a month. And Now, if a business says call me in a month, now, let me have the full point, is what I'm trying to say. I don't deal with businesses that say call me in a month, now 2 months, now 6 months. Okay, call me 3 weeks from the 6 months. Because that's going to be a no. Okay? That's a person that either can't make up their mind or they don't want to do it. They don't know how to say no. Don't say call me in a month and call me in then, call me in then, call me in then. No, I'm not calling you after that. Oh, well, Dan, why didn't you ever call me? Because I'm not going to chase you. Okay? Now, if a business says, call me in a month, I'm setting this stuff up, I'm going to get this right, I'll call you in a month, I'll see where you're at. And if you set the stuff up and you're doing that stuff and you're actually doing what you said you were doing, and I called you like I said I would, and we're talking about working together, then let's work together. But if you say, call me in a month, then 3 days, then 3 weeks, then 3 months, you know what, call me next year. I had one person do that to me, and they said, well, we were never going to work with you. And I said, then why did you ask me to push this off 3 different times? Why didn't you just tell me a year and a half ago, we're not going to do this? Don't waste my time. And I'm the same way in relationships. If I ask you out, yes or no? Yes or no? Yeah, you could go home and think about it. Yeah, you could have a day. Maybe I caught you off guard, right? But the next day, yes or no? Not the next week, not the next month, not the next year. Yes or no? Yes or no? Because you know how I think about this? They say, well, Dan, aren't you patient? Yeah, I'm patient. There's a difference between being patient and being an idiot. Being patient means you believe in something, you're letting it manifest. Being an idiot is it's not happening and you keep this false hope alive. I don't want to call it being an idiot. False hope versus patience is what I'm going to call it. Because I don't want to call it being an idiot. I don't want to call anybody a name. But it's the difference between false hope and patience. Okay? You ask a girl out, you ask a guy out, it doesn't take them a week to figure out their answer. Okay? If it takes them a week to figure out their answer, the answer is no. And for a business, yeah, it could take some time. Hey, give us a month, we're doing this stuff, da-da-da. But I'm saying, if a business keeps pushing it off, right? Things are different. Situations are different. But what I'm saying to people is, I'm a very patient person. I have a lot of patience. I used to go with my mom when my mom went out to JCPenney's and Macy's and all that, and she would try stuff on. And when my mom went to buy something, my dad didn't go. I went. So my mom would go, try stuff on. I would sit there for hours outside of the dressing room. My mom would come out, ask me how things look. I would give my mom my honest opinion, and I would help her pick out stuff, which is why I think I'm good with picking out stuff for girls that I date now, because, like, one, I have the patience, and two, I'm going to give you an honest opinion, and I'm always going to think about your feelings. So, I learned over time how to do that stuff because, I did that with my mom. So, shout out to my mom for teaching me that patience and teaching me that a black dress and a black dress are different. so I think I have a different answer than most men have because I'm paying close attention. Like, my mom, I forgot she said she got her hair done, but, I saw her hair was different. I noticed it. I complimented my mom and she was like, well, thank you. I just got it done. Some people totally miss that stuff. But to me, you pay attention, right? But I have patience from those moments. I have patience from going out and going grocery shopping with my mom, my grandmother, my other grandma. Like, I know how to be patient in a grocery store. I know how to be patient in a dressing room. And so, I've learned patience. I'm also a business owner, so I've learned patience. And I'm totally okay with being patient, right? But there's a difference between being patient and having false hope. And patience in a business that keeps putting off your phone call. If they really want to talk to you and they say, call me in a month, call me in 3 weeks, call me in this, call me in that. If they want to talk to you and you go, listen, I'm not going to keep chasing this place, they'll eventually call you, right? And if you ask somebody out and they don't give you an answer and you don't call them and you don't talk to them, if they want to go out with you, they'll give you a call back and they'll say, hey, why didn't you call me back? And I would say, because you kind of let me know that was your answer and I wasn't going to chase you on it. I don't chase. Okay? I don't believe life is Tom and Jerry. I chase my dreams because my dreams want to get caught. But, chasing people? No. I believe in, going back and forth and working with people on stuff. I wanted my co-host to be Joe Forgione in college, and he was apprehensive and a little bit nervous about it. But I stayed on it and went after having him as a co-host a couple times, but I let him come to me. I went to him. I wasn't going to beg him. I gave him the reasons. You go to him again. You talk a little bit more, and then you let it be what it is, right? But you take the shot, right? You take the shot. I wanted him to be my co-host and nobody else. So I asked him. I wasn't like, he said, and then, no. You do the best you can, right? Ask the person out you want to ask out. Be friends with the people that you want to be friends with. And realize if it's not healthy, to back away, obviously. If something's not good, get away from it. But don't be afraid to go and sit down at that table in the cafeteria. There's no cool kids and the non-cool kids. Yeah, Dan, there is. No, that's what the mirage is. Go sit where you want. Talk to the people you want to talk to. If you're friends with someone who's cool and friends with someone who's not in your high school, but they're both your friends, be friends with them. And if people say, well, you're not cool if you sit there, well, then I'm not cool. And you're cool if you sit there, oh, then it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. You shoot your shot. Sit with the people you want to sit with. Talk to the people you want to talk to. Go after the things you want to go after in life. And don't live with regret. Because someday, all of us are going to be in a bed, and some of us are going to be playing the greatest hits, and other people are going to be playing all of our regrets. Which person do you want to be? The person that plays the greatest hits and lays in bed and smiles at their life? Or the person that plays all their regrets and frowns and says, God, give me one more day because I didn't do what I wanted to do? I want to play my greatest hits, and I'm going to. So, and to me, it's not even about, that's how I know I've evolved as a person. It's not even about getting a yes every time. Sometimes to me, with the exhaustion of some things, it's about just getting an answer so I can know yes or no. And I'm totally fine with no, because then I go on to the next one. Right? That's what we do. Greg said, absolutely, DT. I've always been on the same page with you on that point. Don't just talk, take action on those words. There will always be risks. Shoot your shot. Amen, man. And be okay with hearing no. When you get okay with hearing no, you don't get as nervous to take the shot because you're not going to make every shot. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Bill Russell, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. They all missed shots. None of them were 100% effective. They all missed shots. All of them. Every single one of them. There's not a single person that says, I took 10 shots and I made 10 every day. Maybe you made it one day, but not every day. So here we are. Shoot your shot, take the chance, calculate your risks, put yourself out there, and don't complain when you didn't get what you wanted, but you didn't even try to get it. Again, you're laying in bed one day. What's going to be your thought? Are you playing the greatest hits? Or are you playing the saddest regrets? That's your choice. Choose wisely. We'll take a step aside. This has been Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. Perfect today. Talk about taking the shot, shooting your shot. Learn, evolve, ad-lib, deliver. Deliver's a big one on shooting your shot, right? They all are, but delivery of it, right? Think about all the stuff, prepare the best you can, calculate your risks, and then that D in lead, deliver, deliver, deliver. We'll take a step aside. Thank you to Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, where we are all Jimmer strong, and I am Jimmer strong all day, every day. Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, whoever I'm with, I'm always Jimmer strong. Shout out to one of my best friends. I love you, brother. God bless to you and the family. Jimmer Sikowski. Go see him at Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay and see the difference that they have there in the compassion, the kindness, the generosity, and the goodness. What you get from Chick-fil-A, and then I think, in my opinion, a step above. So all of that great stuff from Chick-fil-A, but Jimmer does it even better, and so does his staff. Go out and see them today. We'll be back right after this with the top dog of the week on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. It's time for us to jump into the top dog of the week. Top dog of the week coming to you proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. They are both here and thank you, JB. Appreciate you. Happy 315 day. Greg, I know you said it to me earlier. I don't know if I said it back to you. If I didn't, I meant to. So happy 315 day to you as well. This just a couple days ago on Wednesday, March 15th was 315 on the calendar. So happy 315 day to everybody living in the 315. We got the 315 home sweet home sign here from Witty Wick. So happy 315 day to everybody out there from this week, because, I'm happy to live in my hometown. Love my hometown, love my people. So happy 315 to everybody living in area code 315, which, by the way, I believe was not in the area code song by Ludacris for all the right reasons. So thank you, Luda, for not including the 315. Hopefully it was more than just you forgot to. So that's a good thing. Much appreciation. So happy to be here with you inside of the 315 and having some fun where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. It's time to get into the top dog of the week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, both in East Syracuse, across from BJ's Wholesale Club, right off of Bridge Street. On 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, you'll find the Daycare for short-term care for all your dogs, whatever your size of your dog, big dogs, little dogs. There's a place for everybody, and a wonderful, wonderful place at Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. You can head out there as well for longer term care for your furry loving friend. Head out to that location at Canine Kampground on 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, right down the road from 228 Old Bridge Street where the daycare is. So both located right off the highway across from BJ's Wholesale Club, right off of Bridge Street, in a very, very easy way to get in touch with them. You can get in touch with the daycare by calling 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110. And you can call the Kampground Dog Boarding 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. I give you their phone numbers because they do pack up quick, so you want to make sure they have a spot for your pup or your grown dog or whatever you got. So make sure that you call them today. Let them know that Wake Up Call sent you, and make sure your dog has a great home away from home. It is now time for the top dog of the week. My top dog of the week, thanks Lily. My top dog of the week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. Well, it is my pup, Lily. She's my top dog of the week, literally and figuratively, because Daddy travels a lot. I got a lot of places that I got to go, a lot of things I have to do, and my wonderful pup is such a loving and caring pup. She's so sweet. She's so good. And when she's hanging out and she's with Dad, she's awesome. When she's away from home, she's awesome too. She's great with Grandpa, great with Grandma. And I just want to give a shout out to my dog, Lily. She is a daughter to me. And if I never have, kids with anybody down the road here, I always tell her she's the best daughter. And even if I have a daughter someday, she's still my favorite daughter. So I apologize to any future daughter that I may have, because I already told Lily who my favorite is, and I'm going to keep that. Doesn't mean I'm not going to love them, but it means Lily's always been my favorite. Her and I have been through a ton of things together. She is incredible. And those of us that love our dogs, we honor our dogs, right? And she's great. When I have to travel, and sometimes we travel together, and sometimes we have to be separate when we're traveling, and I got to tell you that, the love that I get when I come home is tremendous, and I just hope she always knows I'm working hard, I'm doing the best I can, I'm living my dreams. But if I had it up to me, she would have sat next to me in Greensboro, sat next to me at the NCAA tournament, sat next to me at the Jaguars games, because if you know Lily, you know that she not only loves luxury, but that Lily is so good at just sitting and being there with you. She would probably literally sit in the press box on her seat and watch the game and be with me and hang out like she's a human being, because she acts like a person, but is better than a person because her love is unconditional, and she's such a sweet, sweet dog. So today, I want you to honor your dog as the top dog of the week. I want you to love them up. I want you to appreciate them. I want you to make a memory today. Whether you lay down on the ground and roll around with them, or you put them up in bed. Maybe they don't sleep in your bed. You let them sleep in the bed tonight. or maybe you give them an extra special treat, or rub their belly, or take them for a walk, or bring them to Target, or whatever you do. Take them for a ride, whatever it is. And I know I just said that, and a lot of people are like, why did you say that? You were on speaker. So now they heard it, RIDE, or a WALK. But yeah, so my top dog of the week is Lily, because she has been such a treasure in my life. She's always a treasure in my life. I'd like to think we just got started in our lives together and that we have plenty more things to come. So I love you, Lily. I appreciate you, Lily. And I thank you for being so good. Daddy's had to travel a lot, and you've been incredible. And I know she's here in the studio office, running around. So I know she could probably hear me, and I just want her to know I love her very much. With that being said, we're going to take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, Clay Gagen-Sherman joins me on a historic season, his first season as the head coach of the Bryant and Stratton Syracuse men's basketball team, and he's already made history. We'll talk about it right after this, where sports meets life in an all-new Bobcat buzz, exclusive to Wake Up Call, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the fantastic Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse, located on James Street here in Syracuse, New York. It's coming up right after this. Clay Gagen-Sherman rejoins the show as we talk about history being made at Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville beats. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, hanging out where sports meets life. So happy to be here with you, hanging out with you in these wonderful Cafe Kubal Studios and having wonderful people join the show all week long. I can't believe how long this week has felt, which is a beautiful thing, because some people say weeks go by like way too fast. My week started with Matt Langle, okay? It started with Matt Langle 4 out of the last 5 years. By the way, the only year they didn't make it was the COVID year. So to put that into perspective, they've been champions 4 out of the last 5 years of the Patriot League tournament. And in the last 5 years, the 4 times that the tournament was played, they've won it, and they've advanced to the NCAA tournament and played up against Texas yesterday. Had a great time talking with Matt Langle. Got to start off the week with him on the heels of finding out who they were going to play and where they're going to play. They were in Des Moines, Iowa. So it was a great conversation. And now I get to end the week with another coach in basketball who is making history himself. Clay Gagen-Sherman, who started the women's basketball program at Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse, shifted over to the men's side of things, and in his first season with the men's basketball team as their head coach, they won more games in the regular season than ever in the history of the program, and they won their first postseason game ever in the USCAA National Tournament. So, most wins ever in the regular season, tournament win. The bar is set very high in season number 1 with Clay Gagen-Sherman, who now joins me in an all-new Bobcat Buzz exclusive to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, which is here with you every single month in our partnership with Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse. So with that being said, the history-making head coach, and more than anything else, my good friend, Clay Gagen-Sherman joins the show. Clay, how are we doing today?
Hey, Dan, good morning. Doing well. Feeling very lucky. I know you just went through some of the things we accomplished this season. Just feeling very lucky, very fortunate that I got to experience this with the team. And, we had, it was just a pleasure and a privilege to coach these guys. We had some amazing players. Just really proud of everything we accomplished this year.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and I'm so happy for you. It's been an incredible season, an incredible run, and so much fun to be a part of it, to watch it, to see it. When you reflect on this now that you've gone through year number 1, what are you reflecting upon with so many great memories?
Really, about the growth, all the takeaways from the season, and kind of how we evolved as the season went on, and after this weekend, just kind of, a lot of real character was brought to the spotlight within our team. Some guys really stepped up. After losing in the first round, the last 3 minutes of the game, it was telling that we were most likely going to lose, and guys' hearts were broken. They were devastated. And our message to the team was, at that point, was the way we finished this game says everything about who we are and how we will continue this program. And some guys just, we continued to fight to the very end of that game. And at the end, there was, there's frustration, there was raw emotion. And it was, again, it was a tough pill to swallow at the time. And we were a little worried with how we were going to bounce back the next day. We lose that game and we play 10 a.m. the next morning. And we came into it, some guys texted the group chat later that night, just emphasizing, hey guys, let's finish this season, on a positive note, I know it's not what we came down here for, but it's still an opportunity for us to kind of, go out together in winning fashion and still do something that hasn't been done in program history with winning a national tournament game. And we showed up on Tuesday against a very solid Mississippi University for Women men's basketball team. And, we handled our business. We ended up getting a big win by 28 points. It was great team energy, great all-around performance from the team. And honestly, even though it wasn't a national championship, it was a fun way to go out. The guys had fun. They were playing extremely well. They were playing hard. They were playing together. And for us, a big part of moving forward is, just making sure we have that togetherness. And, when we saw a little adversity in the first round, some guys started to pull in different directions. And again, we lost our focus. And to see us bounce back the next day, see guys step up, see guys finish that game as a team was huge for us moving forward. And I think this experience in whole, as a team, I think we really take away, what it takes to win down here. It's more than talent. It's more than individual accomplishments and individual potential. It's about having each other's back and playing for the guys next to us. We saw the other teams. We saw how tight-knit they were. So I think we're really going to take that away from this experience, and that will carry into next year. And, in terms of returners, we only lose one guy to graduation. So we're going to have a very strong team next year that has this national tournament experience under their belts. We saw as a team how the rest of the national tournament played out with Salem University going on to win convincingly in the semis and the national championship. And for us, we know we can play with that level. So just definitely really excited about the future for the program and everything that we can accomplish next year as well.
Yeah, and this is a great thing. And like you said, you just went through a lot of it. So proud of this team, so happy for this team, and the bounce back that you had here to get that first ever win in the USCAA national tournament. Just what that means to you, albeit that it wasn't toward the national championship, that there's the bracket and the consolation bracket, but to get a postseason win, to have that under your belt, and like you said, you only lose one guy to graduation. So when you're returning the majority of a team that knows what it's like to win in the postseason, now that they have that postseason win under their belts, it's the first ever in program history at Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse for men's basketball. Do you feel like now there's a weight that's lifted off of you, a weight that's lifted off of the team, and that as you move forward, because now they know what it feels like to win in Virginia, what it feels like to get a victory on the national stage, that now that maybe the next time you get there, which is hopefully this upcoming season, there's not that weight on the shoulders that they got to lift off?
Absolutely. It was definitely a weight, and now, after both performances, I think we proved to ourselves that we belonged there. We kind of came in, still kind of had like the new guy kind of the new guy in the tournament. We've never won there and stuff like that, but we really proved that we can compete with the national champions, and then we won convincingly against a good team that gave the third seed in the tournament a run for their money in the first round, and we crushed them. So I think there's really going to be a sense of we belong here. We're one of the top teams in this tournament. It's not a fluke that we're going to be a top seed next year. Like we said this year, we're going down there to win. And I think we really proved that we can do that in both performances. But yeah, definitely a huge weight lifted, and just a sense of we're down there to compete for a national championship. And I also think we put our program kind of on the radar of these other colleges that play in it, that you really got to scout us because we're deep and we have a lot of talent. And if you're not ready for us, we can catch you off guard, especially in that first round versus Salem. I think they were a little taken back after that first half.
Yeah, and that's the thing is the game that you played in against Salem, a low-scoring game, 59-45, despite the loss to Salem University, who you called the best team in the national tournament, despite the fact that they weren't the number one overall seed, saying that they were the best in your opinion. What was it about them that you felt like they were the best team in the tournament, and what did you do right against them that you can use for the future?
I think it was really apparent as soon as we started scouting them. You see all right, there's a guy on the team that hit 84 3-pointers this season. He hit 12 3-pointers in a game twice, averages 20 points a game. And then you look, all right, they have two dominant bigs. One of them is extremely good out of ball screens and finishing around the rim. The other one's a defensive force. And then you kind of look across their roster and you're like, wow, those guys aren't even the best players. Their point guard transferred there from Howard University and basically does everything. So you just kind of, as you go through the roster they have, and you're starting to watch their film, how organized they are, how hard they play. It was obvious that they were the top team in the country, in my opinion. And something I think we did incredibly well, which was why we were, started off, playing very good against them in the first half, was as a staff, we put together an awesome scouting report. We understood everyone on their team. We prepared for them. As soon as, I'd say 2 weeks out from Nationals, we started to look at Salem and really studying game film and watching their roster and what they did, and understanding what we wanted to take away from them, who we could help off defensively, how we wanted to defend the high ball screen action, how we wanted to defend high-low offense, how we wanted to face guard number 15. And we truly feel like that made a huge difference in that game. And, unfortunately, one area we didn't prepare the way we needed to was for our 1-3-1 offense to go, our zone offense to go against their 1-3-1 zone. We knew that was something they did. We knew they played it well. We just kind of underestimated how much we had to prepare that offense for that zone. And, if you watch their games in the tournament, they probably played 3 minutes of 1-3-1 zone in their semis and championship game. They played over a half of the zone against us because we attacked them man-to-man. They couldn't guard us in the man-to-man. They switched to that zone, which really threw us off and we struggled against. But I think as a staff, we really take away, our ability to scout and how much of an impact that can make, especially when you play good teams. So something we're going to carry into next year, especially in our big matchups. We're going to spend some time, diving a little bit deeper into scouting.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what you're going to do here. I mean, you wrote, and if you'll oblige me here, I want to read exactly what you wrote to everybody here, because you had a long message, and I think it's really beautiful. And it's not only, I've seen, I talked to Jason Leone about this week too. He wrote a beautiful message at the end of the season, and you wrote a beautiful message at the end of the season. And I'll say the same thing to you that I said to him, is that it's atypical to see a coach, number one, put a lot of emotion out there, and number two, to just, write a letter essentially out to people about things. And so, I commend you for doing it, because it is so rare, and it shows your character, it shows the person you are, it shows the friend that I have. And so I want to put this out and read this to people. So 2022-23 will be a season I won't forget. These are the words of Clay Gagen-Sherman. 19-8 overall record. Most wins in program history. Highest national tournament seed. First national tournament win. 3 All-Americans. All things that were accomplished this year. So he said, quote, "We made it to the national tournament with the 5th overall seed. We got a tough draw in the first round against the eventual national champion NCAA Division II Salem University. We had them on the ropes in the first half, entering the half only down 1. Unfortunately, we struggled to hit shots in the second and couldn't respond to their run midway through the half. We ended up losing by 14. Salem moved on to win the semis by 10 and the championship by 17. We bounced back in our consolation game the next day to get our first national tournament win in program history. I was so proud of the guys for coming together to finish the season with a win after being heartbroken the day before. This was the most fun that I've had coaching since I began my career. I'm so proud of everything we accomplished as a team. These guys really worked tirelessly for 6 months to raise the program's standard. We learned so much from this season that will carry over into next year. I can't wait to see what we accomplish. The future is bright. And most importantly, thanks so much to my amazing wife, Kate, for supporting me through it all. She is my rock and holds it down at home every day, and especially during the season. Early mornings, late nights, random hours, long weekends, road trips, practices, game days, and recruiting You make it possible for me to do what I do. I wouldn't be here without you. I love you and appreciate you so much. I am so lucky that you are my wife. As sad as it is for the season to end, I'm excited for our more normal lives again. Today's walk was nice. Thank you so much to everyone else who supported us this season, to everyone at Bryant and Stratton. He named my show, which I thank him for that, for the amazing coverage, and all the coaches who helped share our program with recruits. Thank you so much. I appreciate more than you know. Go Bobcats. So, Clay, bring me into these words and why you decided to publicly share your sentiments with people from all over the world.
Yeah, that's, honestly, I usually don't post a ton on social media. Definitely here and there, but, I felt like after the season we had and the experience, I wanted to share it, with everyone that follows me. I know I have a great support system. I have, a lot of friends, a lot of people out there that follow our program. And I just thought it was really important to bring recognition to everything these guys accomplished this year, and kind of spotlight that and share that with everyone that I'm friends with on Facebook and Instagram and social media. And then, also just to thank all my support. Again, I want to share this. I'm just so proud of the team and, just so proud of this season. I want to put a spotlight on that and also let those know who support me, just another opportunity to thank them and express that I really do appreciate and truly am thankful for everything because, I don't say it enough. And any opportunity I can get to express that, I feel like I need to. And at the end of the season, it's just a good opportunity to reflect on everything and let those know who do support us that, we appreciate them and love them.
Yeah, and your words are incredible, and your words to your wife, Kate, and just, what she's meant to you through all of this. I mean, they talk about a coach's wife and how, like you said, long nights, early mornings, random hours, and all those things that go on. Just what you could say about, how supportive she's been, because it is very unique to be the spouse of a coach, and they have to be able to roll with hours that are very loose and can change at any time.
Right. I'm just, like I said, I'm just so lucky and so grateful to have Kate in my life, and she's just absolutely amazing. And she has to she has to sacrifice her normalcy sometimes, to make it possible, because you never know when you're going to have to take a call, or you never know, if you have to run to campus, or what time you have to leave for an away trip and things like that. And obviously now that we have a daughter, that adds to the toll as well. So, but she's just always there to support me and to take care of everything at home. And during the season, there's a lot of times where coaches are unpopular and they need someone to love them up a little bit. And she's always there to just have my back and again share the experience with, and someone I can bounce any idea off. And she's an amazing athlete and a great sports mind as well. So she gives me a ton of great ideas. We just something simple like we needed to do some team bonding, and I was just struggling a little bit coming up with ideas, and she mentioned laser tag. So after the Vaden Cup, we went and did laser tag as a team, and it was the most fun that we had all season as a team. And the guys were like little kids again, and we were all just laughing hysterically for an hour playing laser tag. So just that's just an example of just an idea that came from Kate that it seemed small but made a big difference at the time with the guys. And again, she knows every player. She knows every player's story. She knows everything going on with the team. She's kind of the assistant from afar behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And she's just the absolute best, and just so grateful for everything. And we have a lot of fun, but the season's definitely taxing on both of us, and especially her, just for all the sacrifices she makes and the load she picks up at home. So, but she's the absolute best, and so lucky to have her.
And I don't think there's anybody that gets more upset on the sidelines than Kate does, because I get emotional, but there was like one time where I reacted and I saw to my right that she reacted, and then we looked at each other and we were like, I know. And I was just so I mean but she's very animated, which I think is great. I'm sure you've seen her not smile, but is there a time where your wife typically doesn't smile? Because I don't feel like publicly you see her not smile. So are there moments where she is not smiling, or or do you want to divulge that or no? So.
I mean, something that sticks out in games is definitely, and I've gotten better with this, but early on I was a little bit of a nut on the sidelines at times, and really went back and forth with officials, and I just had to look over, and she'd just give me like the serious eyes, like, you got to focus right now, look. So that's just an example of her kind of helping me lock in during games, and like I said, that was much more needed, my first couple years of coaching, but I think I've gotten a little better there. But yeah, she definitely, we're usually on the same page now, but early in my coaching years, she'd help me just refocus. And again, what she always says about the refs is it's not going to change anything anyway, so why are you so focused on it? Definitely that.
I would take her advice and go one step further with this and say the refs are like people in life sometimes that critique you and it doesn't make sense. And no matter what you say to them or what you do, you're not going to change their mind. So why worry about the people that have made decisions about you that you can't change?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's a relationship at the end of the day.
Yeah. With
a coach, a ref, a player, a ref. So you got to do everything you can to kind of, keep that relationship positive, whether you agree with them or not. So, definitely important in basketball because it makes a difference.
Let me ask you a question. We've been friends for a while, so I want to get your thoughts on this, and then I'll tell you whether or not you're correct. If I was a head coach, how do you think I would be with the officials?
I think you would be wild. I think you'd be wild. I think you'd be in their ear for 40 minutes.
Yeah. What makes you say that?
Again, you're passionate. You love the game. You love winning. You also like to talk. So I think all those things kind of point towards that.
Yeah, I think I would want to be mic'd up, because like after a few years into coaching, I'd want to be mic'd up and have me like have the relationships with the officials and the connection, and be like and just hear me say things, and to be like, hey Jerry, you gotta fix your pants, man. Your pants are all out of whack. You gotta fix those. Like, I mean, I feel like because there would be like that emotional side, but then there would be that other side that like pregame I'd be talking to him and I'd be like, how's your wife? Everything good? She cooking at home? She's Italian, right? Yeah, your wife's Italian. Do you call it calamari? You call it calamad, because if you call it calamad, I'm going to yell at you this entire game. Like, I mean, I feel like moments like that where you build those relationships and you say that stuff to them and be like, hey man, do you need me to get your glasses at America's Best? Because I don't think you picked them up this week. Like I would do funny things. I would definitely be funny and passionate. So
I could definitely see that for sure.
So, but I like you have calmed down on the sideline. I will say that I can see on your face when you're pissed, and maybe you clench your fist at your side, but I feel like you have calmed down. I will also say this to you, Clay, and I appreciate this, and this is with any team. This is pro, this is NCAA Division I. This is my feel on it. Okay, coaches got together a few years back and they said, we don't want to wear suits on the sidelines anymore. We want to be able to do what we want. And granted, I understand sometimes, okay, it's fun. It's fun to do like for a game or for a day. Like during October, you want to wear pink for breast cancer. So maybe you wear a pink sweater and you wear like jeans or nice pants or whatever. But I am a proponent of wearing a suit on the sideline. I think you should wear a suit on the sideline. It's professional. It's nice. I take people more seriously when they do. When a woman is out there in a pantsuit or a dress and a man is out there in a suit, I take it more seriously, and they look more serious about their job. So I wanted to get your thoughts because you're always dressed up on the sideline, suit and tie. So how do you feel about the fact that Division I has gone against that, and like some of them wear like sweatpants when they're out there?
Honestly, like to each their own. I've always enjoyed it, and at times this year, actually more a lot more than in the past. I actually wore a polo this season. But that being, I mean, basically because it was such a crazy year. I was all over the place. But I definitely prefer wearing a suit and tie. You know, for me, it's a lot, like you said, look good, feel good, hopefully coach good. But it's a lot about the process for me. Like, I like just taking that time before the game by myself, you know, just getting dressed up, you know, tying my tie, making sure everything looks good. And again, you know, once you're finished, it gives you kind of just a moment to lock in, focus up, then you look professional and ready to go. But honestly, I think it looks nice, and I think, again, it just shows you're taking your job seriously.
Yeah, no, I like it. I definitely like the suit and tie. I respect it, and it's, I mean, like you said, to each their own. I feel like it's got a different element to it, and it's really great. You shifting over from women's basketball to men's basketball, we made the breaking news special announcement on site on location at Mother's Cupboard on 3709 James Street in Syracuse, New York, where now you can get my sandwich, the Cuse McMother, which is my spin on the breakfast sandwich, available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. every single day. From the moment that you and I made that release and we broke the news live on site, on location, from that moment to now, what can you say about your journey in transition from Bryant and Stratton Syracuse's women's basketball program to the men's basketball program?
I would say that, you know, we accomplished a lot of our goals that we had within the men's program. I think when I took over and transitioned over, like, you know, right away we had big goals, and, you know, at the end of the season we didn't accomplish everything, but we raised the standards of the program, we raised the expectations of the program. You know, we accomplished a lot of things we set our mind to, and honestly, we're trending in the right direction. Like, at the end of the day, it wasn't a perfect season, but we learned a lot. There were a lot of good times, a lot of not bad times, but things that we had to learn from and move forward from. So it's been an amazing journey of growth, and, you know, I'm just really proud of everything we've accomplished as a program, and, you know, just excited to continue the momentum in the right direction and continue to bring great student athletes into the program. And again, just continue to you know, set these big goals and build the program up and take that next step forward next year and do an even better job. And, you know, something that the guys are doing right now, the rest of the season, they got locked in the classroom. First semester, we had over a 3.0 GPA, which was the best GPA since I've been coaching at Bryant and Stratton that any of my teams have had. So I was very proud of that. So just hoping that, you know, we continue that even though the season's over. We got to finish this semester strong and continue to do well in the classroom. Obviously, you know, we accomplished a lot on the court. You know, now it's time to make sure we do that in the classroom. And also, you know, we've done some good things in the community as well. And, you know, hoping to make that even more and more of a thing as we move forward. But those were kind of our big things. Those were our three pillars was academics, community, and basketball. So just continuing to put the effort and the focus and the energy into those things and helping these guys grow and you know, move on in their lives after Bryant and Stratton to be successful.
No, and I love that. Academics, community, and basketball, and I appreciate that so very much. Clay, as you took over the men's basketball program, Tay, your assistant coach of last season, took over the women's basketball program. Tay Baker becoming a head coach for the first time ever with the women's basketball program at Bryant and Stratton of Syracuse. How do you feel like Tay has done, and what's it like to see your former assistant as a head coach?
Tay's done an amazing job this season. You know, he really, obviously the girls had an up and down season, but he was just an amazing leader for them and really kept them together through tough times, kept them playing hard, kept them just gelling as a team and keeping their spirits up when they needed it and teaching them the game of basketball. If you go to one of their practices, he really breaks down things and explains it at a very high level, a very you know, detailed level on how to read the game and how certain things need to be done on the basketball court. And it's been awesome to see someone that I've worked with in the past be a head coach. And you know, he was obviously extremely valuable when he was my assistant coach, and see him take that next step as a leader. And we always say the bad cop, good cop sort of thing, and just being that face of the program and the program standards has been awesome to see. And he's done a really good job with it. And now that he's got his first year under his belt, really excited to see him, now he's got the experience to build off and see him take that even, that next step when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to managing his team, when it comes to all those things. Because, again, he did a great job this year, and now that he has that experience, expecting really big things for him in 2023, 2024.
Clay Gagen-Sherman, Bryant and Stratton, Syracuse men's basketball head coach for the Bobcats in this exclusive Bobcat Buzz live on Wake Up Call inside the Cafe Kubal studios. Clay, before I let you go, your single greatest moment from this season. We talked about all the things that this team has done, all the wonderful pillars that are now here. The history that has been made is clear. But what is your favorite moment?
I would have to say my favorite moment was just the end of that team, or that final team meeting after we won our national championship game. Just being in the locker room the final time with that team. Some guys spoke up, and we have one senior, Joe Sue, who had an amazing career. He's got some interest to go overseas. But for guys to celebrate with him, to celebrate that win, celebrate that accomplishment, to celebrate him, and then to hear what he had to say and what teammates had to say about the season, and how they were proud and how they had fun, was it was a special moment, and one I'll definitely remember for a long time.
Yeah, coming from Clay Gagen-Sherman here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So now I know you're going to be out recruiting and hitting the road and doing all those things and whatnot, but what do you have planned post-season? Are you watching the NCAA tournament? Are you paying attention to all these upsets, the Furmans and the Princetons of the world? Are you going on vacation with Kate? What are you doing?
Yeah, definitely watching the tournament. There's some huge upsets yesterday. I didn't watch those games live, but just seeing the highlights was pretty insane how those games unfolded. But definitely tuned into the tournament. I'm a Duke fan. Obviously, always been a Duke and Syracuse fan. Once I moved to Syracuse, I kind of, the needle moved towards Syracuse much more, but still pay attention and root for Duke. And to see the season they've had has been really fun to watch, and seeing what John Shire's doing there. So I'm taking Duke all the way. I think they're playing great right now. Obviously, how they did in the ACC tournament and how they played at home this year. Really excited to see how they do. But obviously, always tuned into March Madness and enjoying that. Getting ready to go recruiting a week from tomorrow is my recruiting event down in Long Island. So going to be in Long Island. Hopefully, hit the recruiting trail hard here the next month, 2 months, and then obviously spending a lot of time with the family, and we'll go on our family vacation in June, and get out of Syracuse and turn the phone off for a little bit. Once that roster's set for next season, and then the last couple weeks of the semester, I'm going to be getting the guys back together, locking in on some conditioning as they finish out the semester to kind of jumpstart them for the summer. So. Got a lot going on still, but definitely more free time to kind of just take it easy. Not stress too much about games and scouting and practices and all that, and just kind of enjoying the little things.
That coming from Clay Gagen-Sherman here on the show. Clay, I appreciate it. You and I got to spend some time together now. Now that we got this time to have a little bit. We always spend some time together, grab some coffee and this, that, whatever. But we're gonna have to do something now, and maybe spend a little bit of time. So I look forward to that and hanging out with you, and just kind of reflecting on on everything. Because above all things, you've been good to me for many years, and came out to one of my shows with Coach Q, and you and your father-in-law now, and to be at the time, Kevin Gagen came out. So. I want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for always keeping me in mind and doing what you can to build up what I do, because you are a tremendous coach and a tremendous human being, and father and husband and friend, and son, but beyond, and grandson, but beyond that, you know, when it comes to, you know, me personally, you've really done a lot professionally and personally to show me that you want to see me excel, you want to see me grow, you're always looking out for me, and it's not always easy to find people like that. So I want to say thank you.
Of course, Dan, and definitely same to you, man. I appreciate you so much, and can't thank you enough for everything you do for myself and for Bryant and Stratton College. Like I said, you know, your coverage of our programs, the way you tell our stories, is so different, so special, and we're so lucky to be working with you. And again, I appreciate our friendship so much, man, and definitely so thankful for that. And yeah, let's once it warms up a little bit, we'll have to get out on the golf course and swing some clubs. Yeah,
we definitely got to get out there and do what we got to do. I call myself the Mariano Rivera of golf. I'm the closer. So I'm like right there. I'm putting us home. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting to birdies, putting to pars, making it happen. So we'll definitely have to do it. Clay, the weirdest thing happened while we were in the conversation. We heard everything you said, but when you said that word that rhymed with Stook, it just totally went out. I don't know what was going on, but nobody heard anything you said about Duke. It was the weirdest thing in the world, but you know, it kind of got silenced here. There was some censorship on the internet, I guess.
Hey, I can't blame you there, man. I'm not surprised. I blame my mom. She was the one that got me liking Duke a long time ago. So my dad, though, he's the SU guy, so we can thank him.
Well, you know, your dad has great taste, and your mom is a wonderful human being that I'd love to talk to about her decision making. That's all, just a little bit. So much appreciation to the family. I got Duke winning a couple games here, but I got an interesting game coming up between them and Memphis. So we shall see, and it'll be a great time. As always, Clay, thank you so much, and say hi to one of the greatest fans out there, Miss Cleo, whose facial expressions are going to become memes someday, I believe. So shout out to Cleo, shout out to Kate and your whole family, and many thanks to you as always, brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you.
All right, take care. You too. Coming from Clay Gagen-Sherman here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We're going to take our final step aside of the show. We'll be back to wrap things up for the week. I can't believe we've had a very long week of many shows, bonus shows. I was a guest on Herb FM Sports Radio, Chris Heidel and his team twice. We did our show of breaking down the entire field of 68 in the tournament. We did our bracket breakdown. Everything this week has been incredible. My guests have been incredible as always, and I'm just very thankful that you've been here with us throughout the week. So we'll wrap it up right after this.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating. Find them at 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and all the time online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond. You can order all throughout the country at maandpaspopcorn.com. And remember to get your tins, which have in-store half-price refills forever. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory battery available to you for fundraising and all of your events by calling 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5 Camillus, where you will find handcrafted all-natural soy wax candles over 60 cents to freshen up your home. We carry a wide range of locally made items, Salsa Q's, Syracuse Salt, and Chocolate Pizza Company, to name a few. Let our knowledgeable staff help choose unique gifts and keepsakes for any occasion. Gifts for family and friends, and maybe a little something for yourself. Witty Wicks Candles and Gift Shop, Township 5 Camillus.
This is a special message from Merritt Brady, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Watertown on 1290 Arsenal Street in Watertown, New York.
Chick-fil-A for me has always been about the people. I think it starts with the strength and leadership of the Cathy family. It's just amazing to see a family-run business reach the altitude that they have. Second mile service is something that we embodied at my previous business, and the ability to make people feel like they're the only person at your establishment, that you are there to serve them that day and looking for those extra ways to make them happy, to anticipate what they need next is what makes me tick. And I'm going to have so many opportunities at Chick-fil-A to do that. It's one of my favorite things to eat in the world. My favorite application question or interview question when I'm interviewing is when I get to, have you ever eaten at Chick-fil-A? And a smile hits both their ears. You know, they can't even answer the question for a second. And when I see that, it's like, man, that's going to be a great hire. They already get it. They already feel it. They already know that we're different. The Chick-fil-A experience, it's a real thing. And then, of course, just our generosity and community involvement and making a positive impact in the lives of our team members, our guests, and the community in general, I think is really the secret sauce.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Thank you for being here with us where sports meets that thing called life. That NCAA tournament logo, want to jump to that really quick here, folks. We had some big time games yesterday and some upsets, baby, happening in this one. Upset of the number 2 seeded Arizona Wildcats. Pac-12 didn't have a lot of teams in the tournament this year, and now they do not have the Arizona Wildcats in the tournament as they were bounced out by Princeton of the Ivy League. 15 seed gets that dub, and that was one of the games. Go back and check the tape. I was circling that game, watching that one, and the other one that I was circling that I told people to be wary of, number 4 seed Virginia, who fell to number 13 seeded Furman in this tournament. Coming up today, we got some big-time games, and again, from noon until midnight, a lot of great stuff coming up here. So USC will be taking on Michigan State. USC and Michigan. USC, the 10 seed, Michigan State, the 7. That'll be at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time coming up here on CBS. And then number 14 seed Kennesaw State against 3 seed Xavier at 12:40 p.m. These are all Eastern Time, so 12:40 p.m. and that will be on True TV. Number 14 seeded UC Santa Barbara, 3 seed Baylor will be at 1:30 p.m. on TNT. So 2 3s versus 14s happening back to back to each other, which is very cool. And then we have VCU, the 12 seed, against 5 seeded St. Mary's at 2 p.m. TBS, and that game is happening right close here to Syracuse, New York, in Albany, just a little ways away. Number 15 seed Vermont. I think that this is a little bit of a danger game for number 2 seed Marquette, but I would like to see, I have Marquette going to the Final Four, but this may be a little bit of a test game here, a little bit of a danger game, because Vermont shoots those 3. So 15 seeded Vermont, 2 seeded Marquette at 2:45 p.m. on CBS. 11 seed Pittsburgh, who won their play-in game over Mississippi State, who I think is going to win today, takes on 6 seed Iowa State at 3:10 p.m. on True TV. Number 11 NC State takes on 6 seeded Creighton. So a little interesting there. 2 ACC teams, 2 11 seeds back-to-back tip-offs here. 4 p.m. for NC State and Creighton on TNT. Let's see how far Creighton can make it. I always want them to make it far, but they're that team where it's like they can kill your bracket if they if they lose, it's one of those teams that you want to like lean on, but then they can also affect your bracket. Iona, 13 seed, taking on 4-seeded UConn. That means Rick Pitino's going up against a team that he used to go up against when he was part of the old Big East. And he's coming to Albany, not too far away from Syracuse, where he used to be an assistant under Jim Boeheim. That game's in Albany at 4:30 p.m. on TBS, Iona versus UConn. Number 16 seed, Fairleigh Dickinson, goes up, who won their play-in game against Texas Southern. They go up against Purdue, the number 1 seed, and that's at 6:50 p.m. on TNT. Number 11, Providence, will take on number 6, Kentucky. This is a pick'em game to me. This is a dangerous game. 7:10 p.m. on CBS. Number 12 seeded Drake will take on 5 seeded Miami in the night game, night session, 7:25 p.m. in Albany. Number 14 seed Grand Canyon takes on one of my favorites, one of my darlings of this year's tournament, the number 3 seeded Gonzaga Bulldogs, and that's at 7:35 p.m. on True TV, which makes me sad because I want Grand Canyon to win and I want Gonzaga to win, so it's tough. FAU, the 9 seed, takes on 8 seeded Memphis, who I think is dangerous in this year's tournament, at 9:20 p.m. on TNT. Number 14 seed Montana State takes on 3 seeded Kansas State at 9:40 p.m. on CBS. And Kent State, the 13 seed, will take on the 4 seeded Indiana. And that 4-13 matchup, everybody talks about the 5-12. I think the 4-13 this year could be a danger zone for some, already has been for Virginia going up against Furman. Number 13 seed Kent State taking on 4-seeded Indiana at 9:55 p.m. Better watch that game, folks. I think it's going to be interesting on TBS. And 11-seeded Arizona State, who won their play-in game against Nevada, will take on Jamie Dixon's TCU, the 6th seed, at 10:05 p.m. on True TV. So make sure you're watching all those. If you're in the Albany area, you better be at the MVP Arena. A lot of great stuff coming up here. We got some messages that came in, which I appreciate here. Let me see this. So Kevin said, great interview as always. Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. Same to you. Greg said, VCU is your true upset pick. Curious to see how their matchup plays out. Yeah, bro. Very excited about that. And guess what? Spoiler alert, your boy's going to be there at the VCU St. Mary's game. Very excited for that. And I really like St. Mary's, but I picked VCU. Still right here. So Greg said a 3 seed is a fancy, dolled up darling. Yeah. So we're in a unique place right here to see what's going to happen with Gonzaga and everybody. Yes, VCU is a big time game that I got today, and I'm going to be on site on location for it. I'm going to get to see Rick Pitino, get to see some UConn, some St. Mary's, and get to see the VCU Rams and their fan base because of my coverage of Shaka Smart and all the things that I said about them over the air. I got asked to join one of their groups, and they actually included me in a conversation this morning, which is very ironic and really cool. So shout out to those VCU Rams fans, to Ram Nation. I appreciate you. I respect you. And hopefully I'll see you all at the game. So God bless. Have a great time. Let's have some fun. And a big thanks to everybody that's watched and listened to us here worldwide on youtube.com and facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. And a big thanks to all of you that go to the archive. I added a ton of stuff to the archives. I was up late all week adding stuff, so go and check it out. I did it for you guys. Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, MixLR, Player FM, Podbean, Podvine, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, and more. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on any one of these outlets, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Big shout out to our incredible partners, Cafe Kubal, as well as Carvel, DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Witty Wicks, Avicoli's, PB&J's Lunchbox, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Again, get your kettle corn and popcorn to watch the games today. 201 Old 7th North Street. You need something light to throw at the television that won't break it, and you need something to throw up in the air when your team wins. Canine and your dog will thank you. Canine Camp Dog Daycare. Speaking of dogs, Mother's Covered, Great Lakes Honda City, Chick-fil-A Watertown, Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, Chick-fil-A Cicero, and Chick-fil-A Clay, Pizza Man, and of course 317 at Montgomery. The name of the restaurant is the name of the location. Elegant dining, unlike any other place you'll find in central and upstate New York. Go to 317 at Montgomery Street in downtown Syracuse. And we are, of course, the proud multimedia marketing partner exclusively of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. It is up every single month with the Dolphins here on Wake Up Call. Sports Life. You can go back and check all of our Dolphin content by going to the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com, as well as by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. AD&DT airs every first and third Wednesday of each month, featuring Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, and every second and fourth Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on Wake Up Call, we feature the Dolphin Dive, diving into the stories of student athletes, coaches, future Dolphins, administration, and alumni. And you can check all that out, again, by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and subscribing, and going to the Lemoyne tab on wakeupcalldt.com. For more information, go to lemoynedolphins.com. The Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are here with you on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership, like the Bobcat Buzz you heard today with Clay Gagen-Sherman. The coaches and student athletes join me every single month for a unique take on the Bobcats you've never seen before, with a spotlight bigger than it's ever been. We are proud to feature their men's and women's soccer teams, their men's and women's basketball teams, as well as esports coming up here soon, the school in general, and of course the inaugural season of their fantastic journey that is baseball with the Bryant and Stratton College Bobcats, with head coach Sean Peak and his wonderful student athletes that I've had the pleasure of meeting, a bunch of them. The Bobcat Buzz is available to you on the BSC Syracuse tab on wakeupcalldt.com. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe and search Bobcat Buzz. You'll find everything there. And for more information on your Bobcats, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com. With all of that being said, I want to thank the wonderful Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week. Head there today and get the only ice cream cake that I believe is a true ice cream cake, because the best is the best, and Carvel's the best. Lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver from Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. Lily's favorite place to get fries. Top dog of the week, speaking of Lily, K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, your home away from home for your furry-loving friends, the part of your family that you love so very dearly and so very much, maybe more than Uncle Earl. So make sure you take care of your dogs and head out there to K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Campground Dog Boarding, a place that I trust with Lily very much so. Clay Gagen-Sherman, thanks to him, his student athletes, his assistant coaches, and all the Bobcats at Bryant and Stratton College of Syracuse. And a big thanks to the NCAA for a great first day of the round of 64. I'll see you in Albany. Stay Jimmer strong. We love you, Jimmer. I will see you in Albany, and I'll see you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, the Twitters at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. As always, God bless, no stress, do your best. Can't wait to be rocking in Albany tonight. There's going to be some madness going on, and you can be sure I'm going to be watching the games. I'm taping the games on my DVR because this is my favorite part of the tournament, one of my favorite parts of the year. But I can't pass up being with Dad to watch the NCAA tournament, sitting next to my father and having a great time as part of the madness. God bless. We'll see you soon. No stress. Do your best. Signing off for now, but I'll see you in like 5 minutes. God bless.